Speaking Of. I'm Jared.
And I'm Kate.
And here we are on our festive holiday set.
We are rebelling against our masks because
we don't go anywhere.
We are completely quarantined. Let's be honest.
We are completely quarantined.
But if you leave the house, you put on your mask.
That's right. Masks on. Mask up, Utah.
We're at home.
Isn't that a thing?
It should be.
I think it is a thing.
It is a thing.
See? Our off-camera person says that it is. Woo!
Oh my gosh.
Who needs the Rockettes when you've got off-camera person?
Okay. I don't need the Rockettes.
I know, right? So I have a story that I've been sitting on for a while.
Oh my.
Well, once I start, you'll remember.
Oh yes.
So, a couple of weeks ago, I had a dream that involved Kate and her good friend / trainer, Beverly Wesley. Now, the dream was odd, first off, because I don't really interact with Beverly Wesley that often. In fact, I probably haven't seen him in a good 2 years. Yeah, at least. So it was very random for that fact. So in this dream, you were very excited because Wesley he was working back in the country. He was
welcome back, Wesley.
Back in America.
Someday.
And we were going to this very fancy schmancy office to visit him during his lunch break. We were gonna have lunch with him.
So a personal trainer has his lunch break in a fancy office.
He's worked his way up. But wait till you're gonna enjoy the rest. The personal trainer part does play into it. So we're walking into the office and we walk up to the receptionist, and me being my Jared self says, "We're here to see Beverly Wesley." And Kate being you, you're like, he thinks he's so funny. We're here to see Matt Schnickelfritz. I can't remember his last name at the moment.
That is what it is.
Oh, okay, good. I think I was close. So the receptionist gives me the annoyed look, and we're ushered back into the offices, only to work our way back to Wesley's office, where we walk in, and Wesley's in his full business suit. He's doing push-ups.
Of course he is. Wesley, do you do that at your office?
So I turn to Kate and I say, "Of course this is what he does in his downtime." To which Kate replies with, "Clearly no one's taught him how to slack off properly."
Yeah, we could be mentors for that. For sure.
That was the end of the dream.
Wow. Well, Wesley, I'm curious to know, are you doing push-ups in your suit?
In your suit? I mean, ugh. Just sounds nasty.
And all I can think is me standing there saying, "Yeah, I'm not doing that."
Yeah.
Poor Wesley. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Think of something else. I mean, you're getting paid either way, whatever.
People do such weird things in their workouts nowadays. Like, the guys put these chains around their necks and do squats. I'm like, they've got barbells and stuff. And
what are you watching?
Luke Evans.
I don't know who that is.
He's an actor. I'll introduce you to him later.
Well, in that case. Wow. Well, I mean, that makes me think of...
Well, and then we watched that video with Thor and his giant tire flipping Chris Hemsworth. I'm like, I don't want to do any of those things.
Yeah, but he's Thor, and he gets paid a lot of money to do that.
I know, but still, I would be like, I'm not flipping that tire.
Yes, but once you're able to...
Maybe it's fun? I don't know.
Maybe it's worth it.
I mean, I enjoyed his donut joke, but, you know.
I will admit I didn't actually watch the video. The picture was enough for me.
Well, let's just say that Natalie Portman has since put out a statement saying that she probably will not look as beautiful as he does in the new Thor movie.
I did see that she said it was otherworldly.
Yes, that was the same interview.
Dogs off the set. Thank you. Oh, Stella's just waiting for an invitation. Anyway.
Now you talk.
Now I will talk. So, I have a couple of stories.
Excellent.
One is I had to go get my driver's license renewed.
Oh.
And it had been long enough that I had to go.
Right. I hear that's been an issue in these pandemic times.
It was the easiest thing I've done in my life.
Oh, good.
Fill out although this part's stupid. So they give you a link to a PDF form that you have to fill out. But you have to print it out.
Oh.
And you either fill it out and print it.
Oh, and then like scan it again?
No. Then you take the paper with you, and someone else has to type it all in again.
Oh. And here I thought it was going to be a pain just to have to fill it out and scan it.
I mean, come on. So I take the paper. I made an appointment because you have to make an appointment. It took me longer to drive there than to have my appointment.
Which
the
one?
The whole thing. Draper.
Oh, I go to the Draper one too.
Yeah.
For those not in the know, it's a little bit farther to drive, but generally less crowded.
It was there were people lined up for registrations, but for a driver's license, nothing. In fact, I checked in with the one person, she took my picture, gave me my number, and as I'm looking for a chair, I realized that my number is already up on one of the things. Like, oh. So I told her, I was about to get comfortable, but okay. So then I have to take the eye test, and I was a little nervous because...
Oh. But you've had good eyes.
I have had.
Yeah.
But these days it's...
Oh no, I have to have the old man readers on top of my contacts, if that makes you feel better.
Well, it does. So she asks me if I wear glasses or contacts to drive. No, I don't. So I put my face in the thing, and of course, there's 3 columns of letters, right?
Right.
And the 2 on the side are kind of blurry, and the middle one's clear. So I'm reading through it, thinking, I hope I got this right. And she says, okay, great, you passed. And I'm like, oh, good. And she says, now read and sign this thing on the credit card display.
No.
So I go from that, and I was like,
I can't
see it.
Can you back it up? Back it up. Just back it up.
Oh my gosh. That was kind of embarrassing. I'm like, well, but then I was thinking about it later, and I thought, what if, okay, I forget which one's which, but what if I can't see things far away? They're not testing for that. When I'm driving, am I going to have to read tiny little letters?
I don't know.
I need to be able to read the sign that's a mile away.
Because that's what I was going to say. It's happened on occasion, not often, that I've gotten in the car and left with, no contacts, no glasses, but...
Why?
Because some
How
days you just get up and you're like, I'm pretty sure I put them in. But the point is, I can see the signs and see, anyway.
I don't know. Maybe
and
it's
you'll be glad to know I always go home and put them back in, but yeah.
Maybe they want you to be able to see your dashboard.
Probably, I guess.
Do you know how fast you were going? No, I don't have my contacts in. That'll go real well.
See on there where it says they're required?
Yeah.
No, well, so speaking of enlargement, and where is your mind going?
Just things are getting bigger.
So can I just say, so you just mentioned that we're working from home, and so help me if I'm in another meeting and one more person puts me on the conference room monitor for everyone to see without telling me, I'm going to lose my ever-loving mind.
For those of you who work with Jared, I really need to see this happen. So, when it does, make sure we're recording the meeting.
Well,
okay?
No warning. I'm under these canned lights. No professional lighting like here at Studio W.
Do you need to borrow the light?
We're meeting new people sometimes. Oh yeah, we've got you up on the monitor in the conference room. Thanks! For how long? Oh, like the last half hour.
Oh, grumpy Gretchen.
Great. Did you see me itching my nose and
oh my gosh,
picking off the scab from the ingrown hair? Just give a guy some warning. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of awkward awkward video calls.
Great.
Now, I heard this story secondhand, which doesn't mean it's not true. It just means that you'll never be able to figure out who it was, because I'm not even sure who it was. But
all right, then.
Story goes.
Once upon a time, during the pandemic.
Somebody, so he's in his home office. He's in his home office.
We can speak
and
words.
I think he asked a question. And so, when you do that, then your block comes to the main blocks, right? So you're on everybody's screen. This is when there's, a lot of people. So he's up on everybody's screen, and then he's done talking. And apparently, first he swats at a bee or something. But then he puts his arms up. Looks over.
He doesn't do a sniff check, does he?
He does. No! And then, no wait, there's more. And then he apparently starts combing his armpit.
That is so nasty. I mean, the sniff check I was willing to go with, but the stroking the pit hair, the pit pubes as the teenagers call them.
That's even worse. Yeah. So if you're on a video conference call, just be mindful that you're on a video conference call.
No kidding. I mean, no kidding.
And here's what's interesting, because, in the news you hear about people that have gotten in trouble for doing inappropriate things on their video conference calls.
I know.
And why would you do
Do
that
those
during
things.
a meeting anyway? I get that you're at home, but maybe you're getting a little too comfortable. Just saying.
Just saying.
Anyway.
Life in the pandemic.
I mean, could it get weirder? Probably.
Oh, don't even say, because every time I even think that about work, because my job was weird to begin with, but just when you thought it wasn't going to get any weirder, it just progressively gets stranger, and it's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know that I'm going to have social skills by the time it's time to be regularly back in the office with people. I have this down where, now obviously this is a habit no matter what, ask anyone who sits near me at the office, but I like to reply to certain messages verbally first with how I would like to respond before responding electronically with how I should respond.
the proper professional way.
Yeah. So often, Hubs is across the hall. Are you talking to me? Nope, just yelling at my computer again. Things like, I just told you that! Read 2 lines below! Yeah, and I get more angry, I think. I guess I'm worried that back in an office setting, I'll be socially stressed enough that it'll get worse.
Just gonna say.
I guess we'll find out.
Someday. That's what, one of my coworkers made the joke of, so are you going to have to do parent-teacher conferences for all 29 of your kids? And I hadn't thought that far ahead, which I was very upset about. Don't get me upset for no reason. Those aren't for 2 months yet.
It's like they don't know you at all.
But, I'm like, well, maybe we'll be back to work by then.
Wouldn't it be easier to do it via video calls?
It's hard because they're still setting up traditional parent-teacher conference hours.
Right.
And so you're supposed to give between 20 minutes and a half hour to each parent. And I can't do that in an 8-hour parent-teacher schedule.
Well, you're gonna need an extra day.
I'm gonna need 10-minute slots.
You good? We good? Okay, bye.
Yeah. life of teaching on the interwebs.
Yeah, you'll just have to cut them a little bit short and just get to the point.
I guess so.
Tell them to come with their agenda items written down.
That's right. I'll let them conduct the meeting.
No humming and hawing.
No humming.
And then you should have a timer that goes off in the background. Time's up.
I do have a timer with my kids where I do it for their math problems.
See?
I'm like, okay, you got 2 minutes to do this. When the timer goes off, you better have your answers. Just
You
kidding.
could be like my mom and just, when you're done, you just stand up and say, well, thank you for coming. It doesn't matter if they're in the middle of something.
She had it down.
She really did. She still does. On the phone, it's like that too. Okay, well, it was good talking to you. Okay, bye. Time's up.
That reminds me of my great grandpa. I think I've told you this story
Oh, yeah.
on it. Yeah, he would just get up and leave. And my great grandma would be like, what? And he'd be out in the car honking for us.
We're late for
We're
what?
late. We're going home.
Sometimes that's just the way you have to handle things.
Well, you know,
This is over.
it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, that's where that comes from.
Yeah. It does make sense.
It really does.
It's interesting the things we pick up and the things we choose to ignore. Just saying.
What's inherited?
Speaking of inherited,
Oh boy.
so recently, my mother's household moved.
Oh, that's right.
And before doing so, they wisely went through a lot of things. Now, keep in mind that there were 3 generations of stuff in this house because both of my grandparents had stuff still at the
Oh,
house.
wow.
My parents had stuff at the house, and then my sister's family had stuff at the house. So mostly we're going through my parents and up stuff, right?
Right.
My sister's family is going through their own stuff and counting how many billions and billions of named stuffed animals that my niece has that she refuses to get rid of.
Does she know all their names still?
She does. That's the
Oh,
problem.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
that's
my
it.
sister's like, she knows, she remembers what she named him. She knows where she got it.
Like, what do you say? Yeah.
Like,
clearly
okay,
there's an attachment.
574, like, just whatever. I think, I'm gonna tell her, ooh. I'm gonna tell her what because she was trying to think, there's these bean bags that you can buy that you put all the stuffed animals in, right?
That is a
But
good
she
idea.
still has too many. So I'm thinking, get some like the Velcro sticky stuff, right? And put it on the
Right.
back of the stuffed animal and like wallpaper,
That would be kind of cool.
right?
Yeah.
But then my mind immediately goes to, that would be pretty fun to do with creepy dolls. Anyway,
I'm gonna find a creepy doll, a real one, that has, like, they sell them on eBay with spirits attached.
I would like one that whispers in the night.
I'm gonna see what I can find. No charlatans. I want real ghosts.
Dear wish list.
Going to need some sort of certificate of authenticity.
I'm so excited.
This doll is possessed.
But it can't be like violent possessed because
Well, no.
That's just me.
I mean, that's
But-
what I mean. I'll just find something that whispers in the
yeah,
night.
like if in the night it says things like, don't make mother angry. That's perfect.
Got it. But nothing that says kill your husband.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, so speaking of whispering.
Oh no.
No, this is a great story. So I'm online teaching, right? And I ask one of my students to read a highlighted section that we're doing this reading assignment for. And so he's reading, and then all of a sudden he starts whispering. And he keeps reading, but he whispers his entire section the rest of the time. And he gets done reading, and then he says, and that's ASMR.
Beverly would be so proud.
But it was great because the kids and we all just lost it.
Sometimes that's exactly what you need.
It's true. That's ASMR.
You do this.
I know. He didn't didn't do any like hand movements or anything, but it just was.
Gosh.
It was hilarious because I'm like, why is he whispering? And I didn't correct him because like he was doing what he was supposed to do. So
I wonder what made him suddenly think.
I don't know because he read like the first sentence and then the rest of the paragraph was whispering. That's ASMR.
Wow. Well,
I didn't know teenagers knew about ASMR.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Jeez, if it weren't for Beverly, I wouldn't know what it was.
No, I thought I was gonna have to explain it, but the fact that they all bust up laughing,
maybe they use it.
They might. They should. I use it.
I mean, it's a.
I just need somebody to calmly speak to me, though.
Yeah, it's a thing for a reason. But okay, now I'm going to backtrack. And speaking of possession.
Oh.
Oh shoot! And I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh no. Is somebody possessed?
The ghost just took it right away. Although my sister maybe does still have this doll that she has like the creepy laugh, but also
just can't take it.
She has the eyes that close,
but
one of them is stuck, so it like twitches.
Whoa. Sadly,
the best thing
they're
ever.
making these dolls like new, off the line, in the box. Like my niece got one last year, and I saw it before. I can't remember if my sister got it for her or my mom. Before it was wrapped, and I'm like, that doll is possessed, and it's brand new. Like, why does she want this thing?
Hello. Know your audience, Jared. She's related to you after all.
Point taken.
Anyway, so we were going through old things.
Right.
And it was kind of fun. Some of them we'd find things and, remember this. And apparently, so this is what's disappointing about this story.
Oh, no.
There was a lot of stuff. And my brother-in-law had kind of sifted through a little bit of it.
There were California raisins, people. That's how much stuff.
And the drama over the raisins.
Well, that's how I know about the California raisins. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. So I go through all this stuff, right? And we're separating out who's going to keep what. And at the end of the day, when I have just my small little pile of things I'm going to keep, my brother-in-law says, "Did you find your tooth?"
Oh, no.
Apparently, somewhere in that pile was a letter I wrote to the tooth fairy with my tooth attached in a little bag. And I didn't find it. It got thrown away. But I'll tell you what also got thrown away.
Uh-oh.
My mother. No!
I mean, they did have a dumpster.
My mother did not get thrown away. Can you imagine? My mother did not get thrown away. Although the kids kept getting in the dumpster and sorting through stuff. I'm like, no. All those things had their chance. But treasures. Anyway, so my mother is just done. She's ready to just get rid of stuff. And you know how you tend to collect multiples of certain things over time?
It's true. Well, sometimes you pick up things that,
And so she comes to me with this Bible. And she's like, well, I mean, what should we do with it? And my thing is, send it to Goodwill or the DI or something. But it's got somebody's name engraved on the front. She thinks that just makes it useless. And I said, well, I'm not throwing it away. So she threw it in the dumpster. Not 10 minutes later, there was lightning. Just saying. Don't throw away the Bible.
Words to live by.
Mother.
Now that's got me wondering, for once upon a time when I was religious, like, I don't know what happened to my stuff.
It's probably in a box under your bed.
Oh. Could be. Could very well be.
Could also be possessed. It's reading to you in ASMR at night.
It is. Even thinking about it. That was ASMR. Sorry. Okay.
I love it. I love it.
That is the story I should have told in my meeting this morning, but I didn't. Oh well, you'll have to watch my show now.
Too bad. So sad. Tears. That's not ASMR. Just FYI. Think of all the letters. I feel like there was another story that I was going to tell, but now I don't recall.
Yeah.
So much and so little has happened.
Right, because, as we mentioned, we're working from home. Our life experiences got short.
I mean, there's probably a large population of the public that's grateful for that we're locked away at home.
Locked away.
But still.
But still, I'm sure the movie theater misses us. They must.
They must.
Do
Do
you remember those people?
I did go an appointment and I was wearing my dummy mask.
Oh.
Okay. And
maybe that's what I'll get you a possessed dummy.
And so I was being told a story and my reaction, my eyes kept getting bigger and bigger. And finally she's like, I can't anymore.
It's too much. So I forgot to tell you for one of our last ones when you wore the dummy mask on the show. I think it was my mom watched and pointed out that every time you talked, the dummy's mouth moved with it.
I noticed that later. Yeah.
So it works well.
It's my favorite. Especially when people say to me, I can't look at you. That's too creepy. Good.
I went to, the Megalomart to pick up my prescription a couple of weeks ago, last week.
Sometime in the
Time
past.
all blends on.
Whatevs.
And I don't know if it was on purpose or not. I hope it was on purpose. So I'm waiting, and this elderly gentleman with white hair, and he has on a full-on Santa Claus mask. But it took me a minute to realize that it was a Santa Claus mask and not actually him. So I'm like, maybe he's just being festive, but it made me laugh.
That's funny.
I'm like, oh.
We were at a store and somebody pointed out my mask and oh, I like your mask. And I said, this is just my face. He's like, oh, you get those masks of your face? And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I did.
But those masks kind of creep me out too. I was watching the news the other day and one of the anchors had one and...
Of their face?
Of their face.
Yeah, no, those are
and
weird.
It blended really well. It was really well
done. But then
done.
they're talking and their mouth doesn't move.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I can't take it. Ranks right up there with the dollies.
But how amazing would that be for a ventriloquist act?
That would be pretty hilarious.
Cheater!
Wow, right up there with Elf on a Shelf. I had an elf story of the elf on the... Oh! That's another work-related story.
Oh my.
So I'm glad I triggered that.
Is this the gremlin elf on the shelf?
No, it's regular old Elf on the Shelf. So I'm teaching class and one of my students logs in and it's the elf. The elf is on camera.
Nice.
It's just the elf. And I'm like, oh, we have a Christmas elf. He makes the elf wave to me. I have really bored teenagers, people.
This is awesome.
So I keep teaching. The elf is the student that day. So I will ask questions, and if I called on that particular student, the elf would duck out of shot and then come back with a notebook holding up the answer to the question that I asked.
That's awesome.
So see, you should be doing my job. I either have ASMR or Elf on the Shelf in my class.
I will tell you right now.
But he had commitment. That elf lasted through the whole class.
I can tell you right now, none of my meetings have been that entertaining. None. Not one. I might have to be the one. They say be the change you want to see in the world. That's the change I want to see. People living through dolls.
Well, because it's one of those moments I'm like, should I be reprimanding? I'm like, but he's participating.
Yeah, no.
And he's actively...
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but it was just hilarious. And all I could think is because eventually at one point at the end of the lesson, because there's parents in the room in some of these houses.
Somewhere, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, Christmas elf. I need you to figure out this math problem and tell me what x equals. Do you have that answer yet, Christmas elf?
And the parent is probably like,
But there's a parent in another house going, what is he? What is this man talking about?
classes aren't crowded enough, they're bringing in elves.
I know. Elves gotta learn.
Doesn't that Christmas elf have a name? Don't they
I
normally
think he's
get
just
named?
elf on the shelf. I don't
They
know.
get named.
Do they?
Even I know that, Jared. Duh.
All right, I'll be sure to name it something. Maybe I'll ask him next time if he shows up again.
If he shows up, yeah, you should.
I mean,
probably
I've
ask
still
him his
got
name.
2 weeks before break, so.
I mean, that's all the time in the world. Maybe you should use an elf on the shelf. Or Stanley Walker. How great would that be?
I'm very tempted now. I mean, not for the whole class, but
Right.
I would do it just for reaction to sign on and.
And then say it's a substitute.
That's right.
Mr. V is
Mr. V is out for the
preoccupied.
day.
I love it. I can't wait to hear about it.
Oh,
If you don't do it, I'm gonna be mad. It's
okay.
like all of those years that I told my mother for Halloween she should dress as a substitute teacher. And did she ever do it? No. Every year it was that stupid ghost.
What? She dressed as a ghost?
She would like wrap herself up in a sheet and put like white stuff on her face. And she was a ghost.
You would think I would remember this, that your mom and I were, we were all in the same building.
Maybe she wasn't dressing up back then
Maybe
anymore.
not.
I don't know. All I know is every year I just dress as a substitute teacher. You could like talk funny all day. Come on. Come on.
Wow. All right. Well, do you have anything else?
Oh, hate to end on that Debbie Downer moment, but I'm not sure I have anything else.
I'm like, 'cause I don't think I do. But yeah.
No.
All right. Well, we hope you're staying safe and happy and healthy and masked and only unmasked in your houses where you're with your best friends who have also been quarantining for as long as you have been.
That's right. Forever.
Forever. That's what it's certainly feeling like now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
We'll see you next time.